got a comment asking us to make a video for kids, right, minors, and then listing out the pros and cons. So we're going to go through a couple bullet points here. When it comes to policies on minors, we've done some longer webinars and videos on this. The number one thing to be aware of is the limits an insurance company or the underwriter is going to restrict us with, right? And it's 100% based off of the death benefit. So if I want to take a policy out on a child, right, let's say it is a 6-year-old, and I say, hey, I want to put in $30,000 a year because they're so young and the cost is going to be next to nothing, it's going to look great, right? I'd love to do that too. The thing is, we typically cannot, and here's why. Is before I look to max fund a policy on a minor, here's the limits you want to be aware of, is that the insurance company is going to look at the following. They're going to say, how much does the parent have in total life insurance if they have, for example, $500,000. You know what, let's say it's $1 million. And that's in total life insurance coverage. That could be whole life, that could be term, that could be life insurance through work. Whatever the total amount of death benefit that the parent has, a minor is going to be restricted to 50% of that in life insurance. That would mean $500,000. And the issue with that, because if I put $500,000 on a 6-year-old, right, that's not, we don't need the life insurance on them. The issue with that is that the younger we are, the same amount of life insurance gets us significantly less mech space. Right, that's going to cap our contributions. Let's demonstrate what that means. So here we've got a 6-year-old male. And the main thing I want to highlight here, let's actually go back up, is our death benefit is $500,000. If the screen would cooperate with me. There we go. So we've got a 6-year-old male here. Total death benefit, $500,000. Right, what I want to highlight first is my mech limit. Right, if I'm 30 years old or 60 years old, that $500K might get me $15,000 to $30,000 in mech space. For a 6-year-old, $500K gets me, this is small over here, but my mech limit is $6,200. Let's do this. That means that is the maximum I can pay in per year. The issue with that is often one will say, well, no, I want to be able to pay in more. Can I pay in $15,000 a year? What the insurance company is going to cap us out with is how much does the parent have? Child can obtain 50% of that. Say it's $500,000, and that's where we're capped out on the mech limit. So that's the first restriction. Aside from that piece, so that's the major con, the drawback. Other than that, when we take a policy on a minor, we're going to do the exact same thing that we would for anyone. So if my mech limit is, call it $6,000, here I've got $6,000 a year going in. My money can go where? Premium or cash. Always go back to that, premium, cash. The minimum premium I can have is 10%. It won't let us illustrate any lower in most situations, and everything else is going to cash. So what we want to look at then is, all right, what does my account value look like? I'm max funding this thing. So look at the break-even point. Right now, minors, this is the other con or the other potential drawback. They don't have to go through underwriting, which is nice. They don't have to go through a medical exam. The company will order medical records. They get put in almost a group health rating class, a lot like group insurance, where it's called a juvenile or a minor health rating class, all lumped together. And it's not bad. I mean, they're very young, but when you look at the break-even point, here's our contributions each year. Here's our total contributions. Year 4, we paid in 24. Year 5, we paid in a total of 30. Our break-even point is between years 4 and 5, right? Year 5, we're positive. Working with people in their 30s, 40s, 50s, even 60s, we can get that break-even point between 3 and 4 instead, right? And that is because an individually underwritten policy is more favorable. You can drive those insurance expenses lower, and the ratios, if those are all equal, it doesn't matter a whole lot if you're 20 or if you're 60. If my premium's the same and my cash ratio is the same, my death benefit's just different, it's not going to make a difference. So it can easily do this on a minor. You can make the cash value very strong, like you would for anyone. The only potential drawback is often how much we're limited that we can pay into a policy per year because of the death benefit regulations. Hope this helps.